Hey, what's up, YouTube? Brett and Bordy here. Today, we are going to talk about New World's changes to their loot system and gearing system. So, Bordy, let's hop right in here. The first change, in my mind, the biggest change to not only the way that you equip gear, but the economy in New World as a whole. All equip items are now bind on equip or bind on pickup. Bordy, what do you think about the changes to the loot in New World?
Well, I think overall, these are some really good changes. The bind on equip or bind on pickup, the first time I read through that, I was like, oh no, this probably isn't going to be good. But then the more I thought about that, and then also they have a little blurb at the end that talks about how this is an important step to keep the economy and demand for quality items high, which is true because right now there is no item sink in New World. Items do not break whenever they lose durability. There's no way to keep the economy moving and keep the economy flowing. And I think this is a step in the right direction. Having bind on pickup or bind on equip items does prevent the market from getting flooded a little bit with those types of items. So I think it's good for that reason, man. I think this is a good step in the right direction for the overall economy of the game.
Absolutely. The system that they had in place during the preview event allowed players to basically equip high-end items, use them until they were to level past them, and then just sell them. So, there was no removing any items from the economy at that point, which caused, obviously, a lot of excess items and then therefore diminishing the value of everything. Here we
absolutely.
go. Drop logic. So this is big too, Bordy. Items now drop with appropriate stats, higher quality drops, and increased changes to increase the chance of you getting a gem slot. This is kind of interesting, Bordy, because now, hopefully you will get an item that has the appropriate stats on it as opposed to getting a hammer with intellect or, a fire staff with strength on it.
Yeah, a very good change, man. It didn't make sense. Those items were basically useless before. Even if you throw them up on the marketplace, no one's going to buy an item that has the wrong attributes on it for their particular build. A lot of that just didn't make a lot of sense. So this is definitely a good change that probably it wasn't intended, I would imagine, to begin with. So making that fix is obviously very, very good because now whenever you loot an item, you can at least be excited about the item you loot, knowing that it's going to be at least somewhat relevant or have a lot higher chance to be relevant to what you're running versus just some trash gear that you're going to scrap for repair parts.
Right, exactly. And then at that point it's going to be off like how, maybe it gives you add 1 dexterity or something, which is okay, I think, as long as the gear drops are indeed random. You're not getting 30 gray axes or something like that, which leads us to upcoming changes that we're going to talk about in this video. So they added more named items to expedition drops. Now, we only know about one expedition and the loot table for that, or at least the loot table they've released for that. But I think these are, again, good changes, Bordy, to get more unique items in the game that hopefully have unique traits that you can only find on the named items.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about this just a little bit on the last episode of New World to Go, and with the named, adding additional named items as expedition drops also gives people multiple reasons, or not multiple reasons, but another reason to go run the dungeon again to try to get specific drops as they run it. Because before, I think there was only one drop. It was like, I think the rapier is what they showed in their little Twitter feed that they had going on there, and it was a gray item. It was called the toothpick, I think. And so with that being the only weapon, once you run it, you get that weapon, you're done. You really have no reason to ever go run that dungeon again. So they needed more items. So hopefully the rotation of those items is good, and there's a wide variety, and hopefully there's even like different attributes that drop on those items, different rarities, and you can get all the way up to maybe a purple piece of gear or something like that. So very good, man. They needed to do this desperately to make those dungeons remain relevant after you've ran them one time.
Agreed. And we hope to see more expeditions. Obviously, we just had a newer one announced in the last patch notes, but hopefully they'll have a handful of those with all unique items in them. That I think that'd be really good for the game. The next change we have here is after level 10, loot containers will have uncommon rarity or higher, and large chests will now drop multiple multiple items. So this is really, Bordy, I think based off of general feedback from the preview event, because a lot of the drops that we were getting, even in like the corrupted chests from the portals, or even when you complete a quest, you get a chest. They were often filled with items that were not even close to the level of, item you would want to equip on your character.
Yeah, which was incredibly unfortunate. You would run like a lower level portal or something, and then you would get a level 40 piece of gear or something like that. It was just all over the place. So most definitely this needed to happen, for sure. This is something that needed to happen.
I think we talk about this a lot. Having a piece of loot drop in a game and seeing it glow purple or gold or rarity that you're looking for, an item that you're looking for, that's some of the best parts of an MMO, in my opinion. Grinding for rare stuff that can take your character to the next level, and oftentimes in the preview event, those loot drops felt very very unimportant. You're basically just looting it to destroy it, just another piece of repair parts. So the last change we're gonna talk about today is they updated some of the look of on armors that were dropped by ancients in the open world. Hopefully this is the the first change of many as they continue to create a variety of appearances in New World boarding.
Yeah, I sure hope so, man. Having a wide variety of appearances, being able to, to make your character look really cool is always a really good thing in the game. So I hope this is the first change of many in that regard, for sure.
Yes, and I think one of the important things to note as we get into the appearance of items is, we do not know yet about the cash shop and how the appearances are going to work from looted gear, from cash shop stuff. We haven't seen any transmog ability or like a slot for a uniform or appearance equipment. But dude, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. They're adding more different appearances. We remember from New World's jump, they only had maybe 8 or 9 armor sets and those different appearances. And they've obviously expanded tremendously on that. And it'll be exciting to see, again, them use their, unique New World style and pull out all of these different looks, dude. I'm excited to see some samurai stuff, some Viking stuff, all of those historical warrior, garb and armor in New World.
Yeah, without a doubt. Can't wait for that, man. That's going to be sick. Some Viking helmets, bro. I'm in.
For sure. All right, guys. Well, tell us what you guys think of the new changes to the loot and gear. I think these are pretty positive myself. Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscription button, the notification bell for more New World content like this. And we'll see you in the next video.